Hey everyone, I'm Anna D, the biggest D you know. Welcome to Me, My Health and I, where we highlight legends and we talk about maintaining great health and well-being. Today we have my good friend Josh, young Joshua, and we're going to talk about co-parenting and prioritizing time for yourself and your family, those around you. So welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being my first guest ever. I can imagine this is probably going to be like the first time you have sex, so very awkward and possibly a little bit painful. But we'll get into it. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm a builder by trade.
Yes.
So I've been a builder since I was 16. I was one of those kids that got brought aside at school and said, look, school's not for you. So you're just mucking around.
Who said school's not for you?
My dean brought us in when I was 16. There was like 5 of us and they said, you guys just mucking around pretty much. This is the end of the first term. I just turned 16 and my dad already had a job lined up for me as a builder. So I spent, since I think 2002, I've been just a labourer. I was a labourer for about 3 or 4 years because I'm really bad at like admin and and I just do what I'm told and that's about it.
Yeah.
So I did that for a while and then it took me through to I think about 2018 where I got the opportunity to go overseas and build over there. So I went to New A.
Yes.
That was really cool. I got to build
and you're New A.
So my grandfather's full New A and I'd never been there before.
Yeah.
So it was like a massive cool opportunity for me to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for that. But it was, at the same time, it was a really challenging time.
Yeah.
Like I was there for about 18 months and it was really hard. And when I came back, met a girl, had a baby to her, and then my whole life just changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a good way. It wouldn't change anything. But
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So do you want more or do it?
Yeah. Okay, let's get straight into being a co-parent. No, let's go back. So tell us more about your baby and
Okay, so
let's hear a little bit of the story.
I guess when I was in New A, it was quite a quite a lonely time because I was there generally by myself. I had a few friends over there at the time, but they would come back to New Zealand and I'd be just there sort of by myself. So
did you stay there for the whole 18 months?
I came home, I think the longest stint I did there was about 14 weeks. Yep. But then I'd come home for like half a week because they only had 2 flights a week at that time. So I'd come home for half a week. I remember coming home for my birthday once and then by the end of it, I was struggling staying over there. So I'd come home like every 6 weeks just for the weekend or something like that to refresh. So once I finished that, I built a museum there, which was really cool because obviously being part New Zealand, I get to build this museum that holds all this taonga and like all these really cool things about the place. Yeah. So when I came back, I guess I was just like ready to meet someone, I guess, and I just jumped straight into the first thing. I guess that's what it was, and then well, not you know what I mean. And so I met someone and she got pregnant. Yep. We had a baby. At the time it was just like, wow, this is actually happening because I didn't think I could have kids.
Oh, really?
I didn't think I could have kids. I just never, just didn't think it would, I didn't think I could have kids.
You just never saw it on the cards? Or you actually thought you physically...
I don't know, I guess because my parents, like mum had 2 kids when she was 21. Yeah. She had Jodie when she was 19 and she had me when she was 21. Yeah. And I guess I just thought I was too old. Like it wasn't, I've missed the boat.
How old were you when your daughter was born?
It was 2020. Yeah, 2020. How old was I? I'm 38 now. So I was 34. Yeah. Just simple math. I was 34. So
and you just thought that you would...
I just thought I was too old because, like my normal was like you have 2 kids and my parents had a mortgage and 2 kids when they were 21. They look like kids in the photos, you know? Yeah. So,
Crazy.
Yep.
Okay, so 2020.
Yep.
Baby's born. Then what?
Then the relationship sort of crumbled from there. It didn't last, and like that was a really testing time for me because like going back to my parents, like my normal in my head was having this like tight family, like all under the same roof, and that's just how my normal was.
Yeah.
And so it was really hard at the time to go through that, but I feel like I've benefited a lot, like from that situation. It's really hard to explain, but I feel like I've grown a lot from that situation. And I've got a really happy 4-year-old kid now.
Yeah.
She's just turned 4 a couple of weekends ago.
Amazing.
And she's thriving. So
what do you think? Like, say, talking about the last couple of years, what's the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself? Going through that situation where you thought, like, what you thought was going to be your new normal to what your normal is now. What have you learned, or what are you proud of? What have you achieved?
I'm pretty surprised in how patient I've been with things.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't think I was a patient person. I've always been quite fiery. Like I'm a real people person, but I've got a really short fuse.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't see that because I sort of do that behind closed doors. But I had no choice. I had to be patient because like the woman gives birth to the child, it's primarily theirs, and so you can't really, you like treading on thin ice sort of thing. And if you want to be a part of this kid's life, you have to do the right thing. Yeah. There's no other way around it. So I've learnt that, I'm actually quite patient.
That's cool.
I feel. Yeah. Maybe people might disagree with that. But.
No, as long as I've known you, I've never seen you lose your shit. And I feel like you are very patient.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Amazing. So that brings me to my next question. Being a co-parent, how do you prioritize time for yourself, time with your daughter, but also work? Because you actually have 2 jobs.
Yes. Well, since I had the daughter, like I was just so I was just a builder, like I used to go to work Monday to Friday, occasionally on the weekends if I was feeling a bit spicy, if I wanted to spice it up and get some more hours. I would do that, I'd work. But as soon as I had my daughter, like I got given this schedule that I had her on these certain days. So things just had to change. So I became going back a little bit. To help me through this situation, I ended up joining the gym. I ended up joining F45 and was, like every day trying to exercise and try to like use it for a bit of meditation to not think about anything and go to this place for 45 minutes. So I loved it so much that I got the opportunity to be a coach.
Yes, you
and
did.
I sort of used that to my advantage because I had my daughter 2 nights through the week and then 2 nights on the weekend on the following week. I had to sort of like fill the other spots up with work so I could pay my bills and stuff. So the gym was really helpful for that. Also, I do a bit of graffiti removal now. So I'm a builder, a graffiti removalist, and a trainer at the gym.
Yeah. So you have 3 jobs.
Yeah, 3 jobs. And it's sort of like, it's tricky because you're not, what do they call it? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
You sort of feel a little bit like that, but it just works.
Yeah.
So you have to sort of think outside the box
a
little bit and sort of make it work and work out what your priorities are. My priorities changed when I became a father.
Yeah.
So she was my main priority, and those were the days I've got her. So I just had to make it work. Around it, yeah.
Yeah. So when you do have your daughter on the days that the time that you get to spend with her, how do you prioritize time for yourself? Because even though you only have her for a short time, sometimes you still might need, you still must have moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I just need a minute.
Yeah, so because I only have her two nights a week or 2 days a week, I've got a huge family. Like I said before, we're really close, and everyone's lining up to see Gia. Like they're just lining up to see her. So I can use that to get my own time. So like if my parents want to see her, like, look, you can have her for a couple of hours, and that's when I do my my washing and all that kind of stuff. And also sometimes just sit there on the couch and just sit there in silence. Like I'm still learning as a father. Like getting her to sleep on time. I used to let her stay up and watch the Warriors with me at like 10 o'clock at night because you're like,
this is my time.
This is my time with her, and I just don't want it to end. So I learned that's probably not the best thing to do because she's just grumpy the next day and all that kind of thing. So now I get her in a routine. I've learned from other mothers and my sister and my mum
Yeah.
to have dinner, have a bath, get in your jammies, read a couple of books or sing her a song or whatever and get her to sleep by 7 o'clock. And if I do that, then it's like, oh man, I come out onto the couch and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. You know, she's sleeping. I've got my daughter here. This is really cool.
Yeah.
But I've also got that time to myself.
Yeah.
To do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah. So, okay, on that then, so what would you give someone, like what advice would you give, not to someone in your situation now, because I feel like at the moment you've got everything sort of under control, but maybe like a year or so ago when things maybe weren't as under control, or when you first sort of had to start co-parenting? Because when you first had to start co-parenting, did you prioritize time for yourself, or was it just sort of like...
No, it was hectic. It was full on.
Yeah.
So like, I guess I think just be patient. Like you have to really think about what's best for the child. That's what I've been through mediation with Gia's mum and everything like that. And everything is in the child's best interest. So as long as your child is happy, then that's the main thing, you know, like, I guess that's, what else could I say to that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, also I'm a parent and I'm the same, like I would kill for my children, but you also have to look after yourself. So what would you say to someone who you might not be looking after themselves? Because to have a happy child, you have to have a happy parent, right?
That's right.
You can't fill from an empty cup.
So the only thing that really rings bells in my head here is really throw yourself into something like F45 or something that you get, you can go to, you're surrounded by positive people and you can really just forget about everything for 45 minutes and just zone out. And that's been huge for me. It triggers a whole lot of things like eating well, sleeping well and everything like that. So if it's not F45, it could be something else. Just really got to, just throw yourself in.
Take your mind off.
Just really sometimes you have to force things. You might be sitting there going, nah, that's not for me. I don't want to do that. But it's been huge. Like I don't know what I'd be like without that, to be honest. It scares me to think of that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it does. It scares me to think about what it would be like if I didn't join F45.
Yeah. Interesting. Now I'm scared. I'm glad that you come to F45.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I've changed a lot in the last, I think I've been a member there for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people have said, you've changed a lot. Like, a lot of it's quite hard to think about because even my friend groups and things have changed.
Yeah.
I've distanced myself from people and I've gotten closer to other people. And it's just like naturally happened. I haven't forced that. It's just,
I think that's an age thing as well, because as I've gotten older, I'm like, there's certain people that I would try hard to care about, but I was like, you're just a bit of a shitty person. And I just don't need you. Like I don't have time. I don't know why I keep trying to fit you in.
That's right.
When I spend time with you and I just feel shit about myself.
The energy has to be sort of reciprocated.
I'm big on energies now. That's funny. I wonder if that's an age thing. And the more I learn about myself, because you learn about yourself all the time, new things and stuff. I'm just like, I'm really good at saying no as well. If you ask me to do anything, my first answer will always be no.
I remember you saying that to me.
And I feel like everyone should do that.
Yes, because I'm terrible at saying no.
Oh, no.
It's a problem. My father's the same. He's just a yes man. I've got a few friends that are yes people. Like I know if I ask them to do something, they'll do it. Whereas if they ask me, I'm like, no. But then I'll think about it and then I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then that person feels special because they're like, you said no. Wow, she always says no.
But now you're changing your mind and you're saying yes. Oh, well, that's so cool. Look, I want to thank you so much again for being my very first guest.
I feel honoured.
That wasn't as painful or as awkward as the first time I had sex. So that's great. I thought it was going to be weird, but we did good.
No, we did.
We did do good. Nice. Awesome. All right. Thank you very much, Joshy.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, check out our socials, and have a fucking fantastic day.